SMA Watts here, and we are about to do a deck tech on the deck I'm going to be playing later on in Tribal Wars. I call it In Strange Aeons. I play on the Lovecraft couplet, and it is an Eldrazi tribe Reanimator deck. We're in Grixis colors, though obviously our tribe is colorless. Since it is both a tribal event and it's the pure tribal event, we are running 20 Eldrazi, that the cheapest of which is Ulamog's Crusher at 8 mana. But yeah, we have a full suite of 20 different reanimation targets. So that's super top heavy for most reanimation decks. They're usually running like 10. But Entomb is not legal, so instead of going for the cheat it into the graveyard and then from there get into play, we're actually playing a lot of draw and discard effects to try and just get them out of our hand and then reanimate, then cheat them into play. We still want to cheat them into play. I have no intention of paying 11 mana to put a Pathrazor or Ulamog in play. I only have 18 lands. Okay, so the Eldrazi we're running, this is sort of the order of how much I like them. Our go-to guy, like the best one we can animate, is Pathrazor of Ulamog. It has Annihilator 3 and can't be blocked by more than 3 creatures. But mostly it's the fact that it has Annihilator 3, which basically gives them one turn to answer it before it sort of just puts them back to 0. Ulamog's Crusher, Annihilator 2, has to attack every turn, but whatever. Artisan of Kozilek, I suppose an argument is that Artisan is actually better than Crusher, because even though they're both Annihilator 2, Artisan can most of the time, unless we animate Dead It. So 6 out of 10 times is a 2-swing. Hand of Emrakul and Spawnsire of Ulamog. Hand of Emrakul is sort of it's still an Eldrazi. It'll still end the game really quickly. It's still a 7/7 with Annihilator, but it's just a 7/7 with Annihilator 1. And Spawnsire of Ulamog is a 7/11 with Annihilator 1. Since we don't have a sideboard to use his 20 mana activated ability, and I don't really care about putting colorless 0/1s into play for 4 mana. So yeah, that's our tribe. Whole lot of tentacles and unknowableness. So, and then we have our enablers. We have 4 Faithless Lootings, 4 Careful Studies, 2 Buried Alives. Basically, Faithless Looting and Careful Study are functionally the same card, except Faithless Looting can be flashed back. They let us draw 2, discard 2. This is any hand that has 2 lands, an Eldrazi, and an enabler, and a Reanimator. We only really need 5. Is that 5 cards? Yeah, 5 cards. And 2 of them have to just be land for the deck to work. Though Buried Alive is the worst of our enablers because it costs 3 mana. We have 2 Ponders to try and dig. Our reanimation spells we're running. Most Reanimator decks use 4 Reanimate, but our guys are really expensive. Playing a Watery Grave and a Sulphurous Springs to go Careful Study, then Reanimate on a Pathrazor would put me at 6. So, yeah, we're not going to be using... Reanimate's the... ironically, even though it's the most powerful of our reanimation effects, it's sort of the one we want to do least. Just because it puts us so far behind. There is the fact that even if you reanimate a Pathrazor and it crushes all their lands, they might go land bolt, and still kill you. Exhume. I remember when this card was first came out in Saga, and talking, and some people some people, myself included at the time, being like, I don't know how good it is. It is symmetrical. And this is one of those, it's not symmetrical. There's no symmetrical effects in Magic are just a lie. When something is symmetrical, it's usually I get a 10-10 and you get a 1-1. We both got a creature. And that's about how Exhume plays out. If they're exhuming something worthwhile, you've probably already lost because either they're also a Reanimator deck and Exhume is bad, like it's just a bad card for both of you, or the game's gone way too long, and this deck doesn't really do long games well. Then we have 4 Animate Deads. This has the drawback of giving the creature -1/-0. Also, it has the drawback of if they have an enchantment removal effect, they can nuke the enchantment, and then our creature goes back to the graveyard. Then we're running for lands. This may seem a little slapdash. It just happens to be kind of what I was able to pick up and what I had. So 2 swamps. It's possible that an argument could be made that this should be some other multicolor land because we're running, but we're mostly black. Like out of our colored mana symbols, we have 12 black mana symbols, 6 blue and 4 red. But we have 2 swamps, 4 black cleave cliffs, 4 sulfurous springs, 4 watery graves, which possibly should be dark slick shores. We almost never get to 3 lands, so dark slick shore has no drawback. But we went through a couple different iterations. I went through a couple different iterations of what I was doing. So there's watery graves. I don't have any dark slick shores, and then 4 underground rivers. So that's kind of that's sort of what our plan is. We are not trying to play clean Magic. We are playing about as dirty as you can. Good old Reanimator. Well, thank you for listening. I hope you'll watch the games.